Hi there, this is Coach Nephie of Bella Yoga and Health Coaching, and I want to show you some options for being able to set up for a yoga nidra practice or an extended supine meditation practice. So first you'll see something to start with. So you might use your yoga mat and a blanket, and I like to extend the blanket all the way out when I am in an extended meditation. So that way when I'm resting my hands on the side, if I open my arms up a little bit more, my arms are still on blanket, not on cold surface. So that's a tip. And this might be enough for you for an extended meditation. But I'm going to show you a bunch of kind of fun tips and tricks for things that you can do to make it even more comfortable. And alrighty, let's go. So say you don't have very much at home, but you have maybe a yoga mat or a rolled blanket. The first thing that often helps improve comfort is a little something underneath the knees. So say you have a blanket, maybe you have like a large beach towel, that would also work. Then you'll just roll the blanket to create a blanket tube, which is usually about the size of a yoga mat. Okie dokie. So you've got your blanket tube. And this is a great thing to be able to let the heads of the femurs rest a little bit more in the hip sockets. So what that means is it kind of lets your thigh bones relax a little bit more down into your hips. You want to make sure that your feet are supported. So you never want your feet dangling in space because your body's always going to be like, where are my feet? Essentially. Maybe the blanket tube isn't enough. You still feel some strain in the low back and your hips aren't happy. There are a few options that you have for being able to modulate that. So a bolster or a side-lying pillow is a great thing to be able to put under the knees if you need a little bit more. And then of course you can always double up your blanket tubes. So maybe you've got your beach towel, and then you grab a family member's beach towel, and then you've got an in-between between the normal blanket tube and a larger bolster or pillow. So that's a way that you can modulate the same pose modification. And then another common pain point when in extended meditation is the cervical spine or the back of the neck. So if you're someone that tends to carry their head pretty far forward, you're often going to end up with your muscles kind of contracting to be able to support that throughout your day. And if that's the case, you're going to want head support. So if you don't want head support, don't do head support. But if you want head support, you might try a comfy pillow from your bed. The thing with that though is your unconscious mind will know that it's your pillow from your bed, and it will make it easier for you to fall asleep. So that's one of the benefits for building a head support that you use in your yoga practice. So you can use a blanket, and then you can fold it depending on how much neck support you need. So maybe you just need a little, so you just use the end of the blanket underneath your head in your meditation practice. So that might look something like this, where you'll rest your head on the blanket on top of the foundational blanket. And then you want to make sure your shoulders aren't on the neck support because you're trying to support the back of your cervical spine or your neck. And if your shoulders are on the blanket, it'll it won't be supporting your neck, it'll be impacting your shoulders. And then if you need a little bit more, I'll show you different ways to fold it. So option 1 for neck support, and then you have option 2. And then if you want to do option 3, oftentimes you might actually graduate the different layers so it looks like stepping stairs. And then your skull will rest on the lowest form, and then the neck will be supported through the steps of the blanket. Remember, it's meant to reduce distraction and increase comfort. So any modification that you use with props for your extended meditation should be there to support you, not distract you. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about for extended meditation is as the body moves out of a stress response and into much more of a restorative, parasympathetic place for the nervous system, it's common for the body to cool down a lot and for people to feel cold. Just like in the middle of the night when you're in deep sleep, it's easier to feel cold. And so if that's something that you know that you're prone to, you can get blankets, like light gloves, or wear socks to help retain that heat. So with using a blanket, you just want to make sure that you don't end up fidgeting with a blanket and that it's not an itchy blanket that's going to distract you and pull your attention into the external world. For the yoga nidra and deeper meditations, you want to make sure it's easier to fall back into the internal world. And then with that in mind, you can also use blankets and covering support to reduce external stimulation, or just to feel comfort about protecting an injury. So say you have like a trick knee or a trick ankle, and you just want to kind of do something that's nice for your trick knee or your trick ankle, you might put a little bit of a wrapping around that area as a way to kind of draw some of that focus into that area to be able to provide it support so it can relax. And then maybe you're someone that's highly sensitive and you're really sensitive to noise or light. One thing that you can do is use a scarf to drape over the eyes and the ears to block out light and provide a sense of insulation when you're meditating. Of course, yoga nidra and guided meditations you're going to need to be able to hear, so don't use any earplugs to try and get rid of noise. But yeah, I hope that this video was helpful for being able to give you a bunch of tips and tricks that you can use when you're doing a yoga nidra practice or in an extended meditation. And you might even find that some of these actually translate over into helping you fall asleep as well if you suffer from kind of mild insomnia. So thank you for viewing, and the yoga nidra practice will be to you soon. Bye, lovelies!